So you know I love to read, and you know I get a lot of books. This pile is the books that I will get to eventually and that I love, and or that I have more than one of. Because I have piles of books everywhere. I have bookshelves everywhere, but here are some books that I would recommend. The Barbara book. This, I got 3 copies of this. One I bought on my own. One my husband gave me for Christmas as part of like the Christmas gifts. And one my friend Jennifer gave me for Christmas. So I have, by the way, if anyone wants an extra one of these. The other thing I have that's really good too is this book about Mr. Balanchine, also known as George Balanchine. I have 2 here, and I have like 2 at the beach because people just knew I would want this book and they gave it to me. And of course I bought it for myself. So, and it's a really good book. Oh, this book about Susan Sontag, I intend to read. This book from Roz Chast, which I began to read, which is amazing. I Must Be Dreaming. And I sort of like, I looked through it and I read, a few pages, but at some point I'm just gonna sit down and read the whole thing because it's amazing. I love it. Here's a book. This is so crazy. Marcel Proust, right? This is a portfolio of pages that Marcel Proust wrote before he actually wrote the masterpiece of, Remembrances of Things Past. And I guess someone just gave the hard copy of this to me. So I forgot that I even had this in softcover. That's funny, right? I intend to get to that. I just read that, actually. That's so good. Speaking of Proust. And then here's a book, Consider the Lobster by David Foster Wallace, because I really like him. I think he's great. Malcolm Jenkins' book, I intend to read. He is so amazing. He was on my podcast, and he is, like, fabulous. Oh, and this, which I also dip into this every once in a while, Finishing the Hat. And Look, I Made a Hat, which are the Sondheim books about lyrics, which is so good. The Andy Warhol Diaries, which is always, always by my side, right? I just adore that. Here's a book, darling. Wait a minute. If you haven't, you must. Called Dog Songs by Mary Oliver. It's just a book of poems about dogs. Darlings. Okay, and by the way, I've given this to people, and they end up giving it back to me like, oh, I thought you'd like this. And I'm like, excuse me? Wait a minute. Like, I didn't give that to you. Seriously, that has happened with this book, for instance.